Hey, this is Worst MMA Picks, coming back with our start of the year picks for who is going to be the champion. A review
of the picks that we made at the start of the year, who we believed in our heart of hearts would hold the titles at the end of this year.
Right at this moment.
Yes, so we're reviewing what our beliefs were in January of this year. I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah. So right, Dom, do you want to kick it off?
I'll go straight ahead. Strawweight Zhang Weili. I believe that Zhang Weili is going to be the champion throughout 2023. I'm guessing she's going to fight once in China around August time, where she's going to be fighting out of Andrade, Rose or Lemos. That's actually pretty spot on. I know that it's not the craziest prediction in the world, but I think she fought in Shanghai.
Did she?
I think so, yeah. Is Singapore or Shanghai?
Did she fought Lemos?
Yeah,
Why did she only fought once?
Because I think they wanted her in like Singapore or something. I'm not certain. And there's not really a whole lot of depth at strawweight either, is there? At this moment.
You could have easily made the fight with Yan.
You could have, yeah, but I'm guessing they want that for properly in the real China. But anyway,
it's been ages, man. Honestly, just been like held up the division.
Oh, they truly have. But the UFC aren't adverse to that. But we'll carry on. It probably should be Rose that she's fighting, however, she's very unpredictable and seems to be in a bad mental state at the moment.
That is true. You can say that again.
That is very true. Moves up to flyweight, even though she's basically got an immediate title shot at strawweight.
Yeah, it never really made any sense to me. She's like her mental. Well, I don't want to get too horrible right now, but
right.
She's not doing too well mentally, clearly, and it's sort of taking its toll on
We're
his
not
career.
going to beat a dead horse on this channel.
No.
But I do want to bring up, Andrade does look pretty cool here. She looks like the woman from Alien. Well, Aliens, should I say, if you remember.
Yeah,
so,
Ripley.
No, not Ripley, the like Mexican woman.
Oh, yeah, Mexican Ripley.
Yeah, Mexican Ripley. Logical contender would be Jessica Andrade. I'm thinking that maybe losing in the first round in China to Zhang Weili could be quite bad. Finally, there's Lemos, who is the most likely candidate to be game for the fight and could be a nice can-crushing experience for Zhang in her own backyard.
I think she had a good time crushing that can, actually.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, she did a bit better than I thought she would do, to be honest. Lemos, yeah. She almost got a few submission attempts. That was quite sweet of her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did she have one moment where she, one moment of panic in there?
Oh, yeah,
There was a bit of a scare at one point.
Yeah, I think she caught her once on the feet, but it didn't do anything significant. But we'll carry on. Yeah. After this, she's going to be booked for late this year, early next year, probably, against one of the other two. Women's flyweight. Val. I don't see anyone dethroning Val this year. I know a lot of... This is probably going to be the same for you as well, but let's hear this. People have Santos in a rematch to win, but I kind of feel that... Not that she got lucky, but I feel Valentina's arrogance in the wrestling really played a part in that fight, with Val constantly going for that takedown, even though she rarely ended up in the better position. She may fight a couple times this year, maybe against another flyweight can, I don't know. We could see a potential another flyweight can, and I made sure to have it on the screen as well to say these guys are cans compared to Val.
Yeah, look at these cans.
Look at these cans, and obviously we see that one of them is, now the flyweight champion, beat her twice, undoubtedly, the best flyweight at the moment.
Right, I don't want to make this all about me, because that wouldn't be right.
Okay, yeah.
But, I don't know if I speak about Alexa Grasso in mind, and I just need to say this. Right now, I can't leave this unsaid. This year, I've fallen in love with Alexa Grasso.
Yeah, you've sent her a lot of messages on Instagram.
A few.
A few.
She, as soon as she opens, I think she must just have bad internet.
Yeah,
she can't responded yet.
To hey there, baby girl, what?
Did Fiorot fight Rose this year?
Yeah, Fiorot fought Rose this year.
And you knew at the start of the year that Fiorot would be like a top person in the division, because
She was quite high up to
Was
begin
she?
the year. Yeah, she wasn't like anything crazy,
Yeah.
but she was more of a power put. Yeah, she's just how she is now. She basically ended the year with how she started as
see.
just a bigger name, really. But yeah. And then, what's that
Nunes rematch. However, I feel this would come at the very end of this year or early next year. Women's bantamweight, Amanda Nunes. With the women's bantamweight division, you've got two choices. Nunes retires or Nunes doesn't retire.
I was betting on Nunes doesn't retire, as clearly stated.
You know, like all of the last few years, I've always been thinking, yeah, she's going to retire this year.
Oh yeah, this year.
This is the first year I was like, nah, she's clearly not going to retire.
Yeah.
So what does she go and do?
Retires.
Incredible
straight off the
bants.
bat.
Incredible bants from Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, she did. It was good and proper.
Yeah.
She has nobody to challenge her. The most logical fight to make would probably be Aldana. I could see the UFC doing a third Pena fight though, since they've not got a lot of options. I'm going to make a very early prediction now and say Nunes will step back from the sport next year. And I think before she does that, the UFC would want to make a third Val fight.
I was almost so close. With that one. It was, what was it, like, Aldana, that fight did happen, but Aldana was like way worse than I could have ever predicted in that fight. And then I'm kind of sad that they didn't make that third fight with Val and Amanda. Obviously, Val did lose, so, you know, like, it's quite hard to rebook that, but still, either way...
It felt like there was unfinished business.
Yeah, but I think this is the best outcome. It's like, obviously, it's the worst outcome, because, like, women's bantamweight is, like, if Amanda Nunes was the grave for women's bantamweight, I feel like everybody else, like Raquel Pennington, Holly Holm, are like just dancing on that grave at the moment.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, we can get onto that topic later.
Yeah. Anyway.
Women's featherweight, Nunes. Yeah, nothing's happening in this division, so let's move on.
Apart from a retirement.
Flyweight, Davison Figueiredo. Flyweight's usually a tough call, however I'm going with Figgy. He indicated last year that he wanted to move up a weight class, and turned down the fourth Brandon Moreno fight last year because he posted...
Incredible.
Do you remember the story of that picture?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, just to say it again, if Brandon Moreno made this Photoshop of Figgy, then Figgy was refusing to fight him, saying that he was racist for doing it, which I don't really know about.
Incredible bants from whoever actually made this.
Oh, yeah.
And you for putting it in the video.
Yeah.
A meme about him. Moreno, since the third fight, has gone on to win the interim championship against Kai Kara France, who has been doing very well recently. A lot of signs are pointing towards Figueiredo not being the champion by the end of the year, but with Moreno seemingly losing his coach due to a fight fixing scandal, I think Figueiredo will win the rematch. Then I think he's going to fight someone like Panjo in around September time, and I think that...
Yeah, I think I was shortening his name, but I thought it would obviously be Panto. I think I saw the T and thought it was a J, okay?
Right, okay. Interesting.
Look, alright, can you show? It's not about how I pronounced the name.
Sorry.
It's about what happens. The picture is on the screen. You're just being a douchebag right now. I think it is an easy mistake to make. Yeah, a foreign name. Douchebag.
That's going to be the flyweight division done for the year. Bantamweight, Henry Cejudo.
Oh,
this one could come to...
Damn. Yikes with that one. I'll just say, I've learned, literally today, the Covington fight happened today. I picked Covington to win that fight. I've recently learned I've got a bias for returning fighters. I kind of assume they're going to be at their best. I believe the Henry Cejudo that, you know, if he didn't retire, I think he would have beaten Aljo. However, the time out definitely affects you, which may be a no-brainer, but I've only just clocked onto that one.
Yeah, you more for you basically.
Yeah, definitely.
For expecting the best from people.
Oh yeah, no, it's really like it's not their fault.
You don't believe in ring rust, don't you? You don't believe that ring rust is a thing.
I believe in it, but I thought that, you know, Cejudo, he's been training all this time. He's been working in people's corners. He's been doing all this, and the same with Covington. He's just like this guy who's always in the gym, so I thought it wouldn't really play that big of a difference. But
to be fair, the decision probably could have kind of gone either way.
Yeah, I gave it to Aljo, though.
I gave it to Aljo, yeah.
Bite me in the arse. He's been inactive since 2020 when he retired and became a coach. Now he could be fighting Aljo as soon as March. Well, Aljo's pulled out of that now, so maybe against O'Malley, we don't know. Either way, assuming that fight is made later on down the road, I think he'll beat Aljo with relative ease. Then he will fight O'Malley, where once again he wins. I think Cejudo beats Aljo, and I think Aljo sees the threat in that as well, which is why he needs to have surgery now that it could be Henry Cejudo. But that was kind of a bad call from me. That's maybe a bad take.
It was funny though.
It's funny, yeah, but a bad take.
This O'Malley, Aljo's ready to go. Then I think the Sugar Show will fight for the title against Henry Cejudo. I don't think this goes well for O'Malley. However, I see him putting up a better fight than Aljo. After the O'Malley fight, I feel he's going to end the year as the champion. Cejudo being the champion as well also prevents Figueiredo from moving up. Assuming they're still close, since Figgy wouldn't want to fight a teammate, featherweight, Volkanovski.
Hey, I've got, apart from, who was it? The first one, Zhang, I've finally got one of the males right.
Yeah.
Which is a good one. He didn't really fight much at featherweight, to be honest. I don't know what I'm going to be thinking about
one
this.
defence of his title?
Yeah, one defence and 2 fights at lightweight. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty... that obviously, one defence of your title is normally active in the modern day for a UFC champion, but, you know, for Volkanovski, that's inactive.
If Volkanovski can beat Islam, I think he will most likely vacate the featherweight belt, since they are both weight classes that demand around 2 defences each year. Like shit, it felt like Oliveira's booked every month. I think Volkanovski will lose, and he will come back down to featherweight with a chip on his shoulder. He will take out the interim champion, which I'm going to say for argument's sake is Yair Rodriguez. Then he will probably fight Arnold Allen late in the year and beating him also. Lightweight, Islam Makhachev.
One sec, I've got something to say. And obviously I got another one right. That's not what I've got to say.
Make sure you edit out all of these horrible noises, like the burps and the coughs.
I'll try and remember. But one thing that I don't really get is what's happened with Arnold Allen. What did happen with Arnold Allen?
I don't know. Has he not fought since he lost to Max Holloway?
No, he's not fought since then, has he?
Oh, man. I really like him. He seems like such a genuine guy.
That was at the start of the year.
Yeah, and I've just not seen anything from him since.
Yeah.
We'll investigate further.
It's very insightful.
Yes.
Expressed that I think Islam will beat Volkanovski. After that, it's kind of hard to predict the next contender. Knowing lightweight, there won't be any fights among the top 5 contenders for at least a good few months. So I'm going to be predicting Dustin Poirier will get the title shot around September time, and that will probably conclude the lightweight title.
Damn, I was kind of hopeful. I was kind of hopeful for that.
Picture for the year. Islam did express that he wanted to be a lot more active this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had 3 fights.
I don't doubt him.
Yeah. Oh,
if I was to guess,
bad. This is a big bad bet. A guy who's not fought in this year, he's not even competed at welterweight, and I had him to win.
Which one I'll get wrong?
I'm blown away that you had such faith in him, in a way. Well, I suppose hindsight's 2020.
He moved up a weight class, obviously, and he fought Usman, who's basically a welterweight, but...
Yeah.
It'd be this one. Welterweight seems very unpredictable, with someone like Jorge Masvidal on a 3-fight losing streak, being seemingly the frontrunner for a title shot if Usman can't make the March date. I think Usman will make that date though, and get retired by Leon Edwards decisively. The main question is, who will be next for the winner? If Chimaev and his team are smart, they'll book a fight against any welterweight they can just to prove they can make the weight. He would be guaranteed a title shot if it was against a Colby or a Bilal, but I genuinely think he needs just one welterweight fight to get the shot.
That is the ugliest beard I've ever seen.
It's not a very flattering beard, I will say that. I don't get it personally. I don't know what.
Even Keemstar's got a better beard.
Even Keemstar. To be fair to Keemstar, he does keep his in shape. He trims it up.
Assuming he does that, I see him being a stylistic nightmare for Edwards. But Edwards has proven that he's got the dog in him, so that's really a 60-40 fight for me. Middleweight.
The thing is, though, with that one, obviously since the Colby fight, I think, I don't know who it was, but they said that Chimaev is now the guy who should be, like, who's got the ability to beat Leon Edwards. And I don't think he does. At that time, I obviously thought he did, but he doesn't seem like he's got cardio. That Usman fight.
He's not.
That Usman fight, he should not have, like, been that close.
First round, dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah.
You cannot... The guy is absolutely dangerous in the first round. Get out of the first round, he's human.
Oh, yeah, like, I think Edwards would have just, like, ended up knocking him out.
The minute he has a 5-round fight and someone takes him past the third round, he's a goner.
Yeah, like, if the Usman fight had 2 more rounds, Usman would be getting a middleweight title shot right now.
Absolutely.
But along with that, it's kind of crazy because I don't know, I might be misremembering this, but I think Usman said that he got offered 5 rounds for it, but he said 3. And then afterwards he was apparently like, damn, I wish I accepted that 5. Yeah. But yeah.
Wait. Izzy. I think the UFC's next fight to make is that big rematch. For that fight, I'm not certain when it's going to be. I'm going to guess April or May. I have Izzy winning the fight, utilising wrestling a lot more than he did in the first fight. I think
there's just more luck.
A little bit, yeah, kind of. I mean,
obviously, there was perfect timing in the shot. It was all that, but it was more that he was... And obviously it mimicked the first knockout as well of the first fight, the way he rocked him. It mimicked that. So you can't say it's too much luck. But if Pereira just, like, you know, kept his guard up, maybe didn't, like, hunt for the finish so soon, and played it more safe. Being careless, yeah. I would have got this prediction wrong. I got this prediction of this fight, by the way, not the championship of the year. But I got the fight prediction right for all the wrong reasons.
I think this time his wrestling could keep Pereira from pressing him against the cage.
Of our viewers,
and if Pereira gets wary of the takedown...
All 3 of the subscribers are going to be kicking me for that. I'm going to be dragged.
Yeah, well, they've been waiting for this video. They've been waiting for this review
all
video.
The community forums of the Worst MMA Picks. They've been all over us waiting for this.
That could set up Izzy striking. After this, I could see a trilogy fight coming later on in the year, and obviously I'm going to say Izzy wins that as well.
Yeah, no trilogy. I would have loved a trilogy, but
maybe
Pereira,
next year.
Maybe next year,
probably not, but
Pereira, he did have to leave that weight class. He couldn't make that weight anymore.
No, it's killing him.
And obviously my prediction here, I think if that rematch did happen at middleweight again, obviously Izzy would win. But obviously, if there is a rematch, is there a higher weight class? So early prediction would be Pereira. Hopefully that's UFC 300. I don't know what else could be UFC 300 at this moment in time, but yeah.
However, the more I think about it, a trilogy fight between those two would be highly unpredictable. Light heavyweight, Ankalaev.
Ankalaev was so disappointing this year. He hasn't got a win this year, has he? He had a no contest with Johnny Walker.
Is that all that he's done this year?
That's all he's done this year, yep. Obviously, I know that, like, he hurt his leg and whatnot, and fair play. But
I think Jan hurt his leg.
Was it Jan? Yeah. I know Jan hurt his leg, but I'm speaking about him like he's out due to an injured leg.
Yeah.
But he did nothing at all. And maybe that's because of, like, Pereira moving up, Jiri coming back.
I think he's the weirdest fighter on the roster.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, he's got, like, what is he, 18-1-1 now? He's got 18 wins, 1 loss to Paul Craig of all people, where he, like, tapped out in the last second of the fight, bizarrely. And then, what is the other one? A draw to Jan, where, like, realistically could have probably won that.
And a no contest to Johnny Walker.
Like, he considering he's probably the best or maybe the best light heavyweight, he's kind of a bit disappointing at the minute. I feel like he probably should be the champion. He just isn't.
I think Pereira is the rightful champion.
He's the rightful champion. But, like, I wouldn't rule out Ankalaev.
I would love to see this fight next year, though. I think it will happen.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting.
I'd have to think about who I've got more for next year.
Yeah.
They've just had a rough time in his last fight, but I think people forget that he's quite new to the title picture. I believe he's going to learn from that Yarn fight, but I'm not certain if he'll run it back this year. I think it's inevitable that he gets a title shot this year, and whoever holds the belt, I think he's going to beat. Heavyweight, Curtis Blades. Heavyweight.
Nice tits on Curtis Blades, by the way.
He's got nice tits, has he?
Yeah, he had some nice gyno in that
picture. Yeah. Nice. Bloody having a go at him.
What do you mean having a go?
Having a pop at him.
I was complimenting him.
Having a pop at the guy who I was going to say is the champ. I would love to say having a pop at the champ, but yeah, you didn't have a pop at the champ. He, once again, a disappointing pick.
Yep.
He, in my opinion, he fought for the belt, but lost to my boy, bloody Russian dude, big scary Russian man. What's his name? Sergey Pavlovich. Boom, I nailed it. So yeah. I want to hear my opinion on what this is about again. But yeah, I knew Ngannou was leaving. I think that's pretty obvious for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done pretty bad, haven't I? What is that? I've got
three
right.
I've had a fucking stinker as well, so don't beat yourself up too much.
3 correct. And this is why we are called the Worst MMA Picks, okay?
Oh yeah. We deliver. We deliver on that title.
You know what you get.
You know full well what you get. Yeah. Do not listen to what we have to say.
Yeah, don't do it. Do the opposite, actually. Listen to what we've got to say and do the opposite.
Yeah.
We are trying here as well. We're not, like, comedic. We're not saying, like, oh, we're going to pick all the bad ones. Yeah,
people probably are watching this thinking, God, these goofballs, yeah. Obviously, they didn't actually think these guys would all be, champs at the end of the year. No, we really did.
We did, yeah. Just wait for our next year one.
It's an absolute nightmare to pick at the moment. You have the champion, Francis Ngannou, and you may as well flip a coin to see if he leaves the UFC or not. Equal odds. You have John Jones, a non-ranked fighter who hasn't fought since 2019, who is guaranteed the next title shot, and on top of that, John Jones is known for his unreliability to make a fight. Then you have Curtis Blades, who has been named John Jones' opponent for if Ngannou does step away.
That's a very strange one, isn't it?
Didn't they end up training together?
Oh yeah, that's... No, they didn't. I think that's a lie,
Was that a lie?
Yeah, I think that's just like a myth. I think it was a guy who looked a bit like Blades or something. Maybe they did train together, but I think if you're thinking of that Peck video, I think it was just some big black guy. But anyway, a big bearded black guy. Yeah. But yeah, John Jones. It's weird that UFC looking at Jones versus Curtis Blades if Francis walks away. That's a quite bad matchup for John, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that it turned into Cyril Gone. But I won't go any further. We'll keep playing.
Official. I'm personally banking on that Ngannou will leave the UFC, or he will be stripped of the belt, pushing him out of the organisation. The reason I'm picking Blades to be the champion is because I feel he's gotten a lot better over time. His striking has improved, and he's seemingly added the death touch into his game. The example, the Aspinall fight. He's going to be judged as well, and at the end of the year, he's going to probably fight Pavlovich or Gane, and at this moment in time, I believe he'll beat both of them.
Alright, so that was my picks.
Women's well, actually, there's no men's strawweight.
Yeah, good
Women's strawweight.
Yeah.
Zhang Weili.
Yep, that's one.
This should be a fairly safe bet, as should all the other women's divisions and predictions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Cheers, Nunes.
As all other women in this division are simply not on Zhang's level. Rose Namajunas, despite her rather persistent claims, is not the best. She was the best, and then the Esparza fight happened. And we all know how that ended.
Yep.
With most of us asleep.
Yeah.
Even if Rose does get a fight with Weili at some point this year, I can see Weili winning a fairly comfortable decision, or maybe even stopping Thug Rose, as she's just getting better all the time on the Triple C.
Yeah,
Let's see, who else is there? Andrade might be an interesting fight. Lemos, as her name suggests, she's lame.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she made a good account of herself.
Well, compared to someone like Aldana, who she took a risk.
Oh yeah, she tried.
She did try. Someone like Aldana,
you gotta take risks.
Aldana's just there.
I would much rather see someone with Jamel Charlo, when he just moved up and fought Canelo. He didn't get finished, but he did not do anything of note to Canelo. Like, he lost every round.
So he could say he went the distance.
Yeah, he went the distance. No, it's so much more commendable, like what John Ryder did, where he went the full, like he really gave it a good go and tried his best and made a good account.
Even
of himself.
Billy Joe as well. Like Billy Joe was going.
Yeah, Billy
for
Joe
it.
went for it. Like he won like between 3 and 5 rounds. You could argue. Anyway.
But
Marina
Marina Rodriguez. I can't see any of these being too difficult for Zhang Weili.
What happened to Marina Rodriguez? Did she lose to someone?
Yeah, well, I know she lost to Lemos.
She lost to Lemos.
Yeah, Lemos beat her by. I think Lemos stopped.
She stopped
her,
didn't she?
Yeah, I think that was like the.
That must have been like a title eliminator or something.
Yeah, it was. I think that was maybe like just the end of bloody 2022.
Yeah.
Maybe it was this year, the start of it. I'm not certain, but yeah.
Yeah. I do really think that they're holding up that division so much right now.
They are.
Like, just make another fight. Like, there's no reason to hold up
This
winning
young
strawweight.
Deal with. I think she fights twice this year. Rose and Lemos.
Just once.
Picks
I think
up
that
two
she
dominant
probably wanted. Well, I don't know what's going on with her, so I'll probably best not comment.
Well, you thought that Rose was going to stay in the division, which was, quite a normal pick, I suppose.
Well, yeah, but anyone with a brain would keep her in that division.
Because obviously, she's got 2 wins over the champion. That's a guaranteed title shot.
Very quickly, what the fuck's going on with Rose? Like, she's with who is it? When she was with Trevor Whitman, things seemed fine, and then all of a sudden Pat Barry became the head coach, and I was thinking, right, what a strange decision, and her career just took a downward spiral ever since then.
Well, I think maybe her coach is now from the Twilight Zone or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Now she's spending her career in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
she's like just all the weird and wacky outcomes.
Yeah,
like breaking a finger during the fight.
God, yeah. I think
what was it that dude backstage, that French guy was like all over her apparently, according to her. So
yeah, I think it's just weird shit really with Rose.
Wins and cements herself as the true and honest strawweight queen. On a side note, what on earth is going on with Rose right now?
Oh, look, nice.
That's where you said that word.
1 year later. Still, what on earth is going on?
That's the question.
Right, that was completely unplanned. That was unscripted.
Yeah. But I love that. What is it? It's not changed. That question has not changed.
No,
we've not learned the answer. Whole year, we've not learned. The answer.
She is talent-wise, probably the best. No, I would say the best female fighter.
Oh yeah, just like raw skill.
Yeah, but she can't put it together. There's something. I'm not very good at wording this on the spot. I need a script, but yeah, she's batshit crazy as a person, and her coach is Pat Barry in particular, is an awful coach.
Listen to these boos. That means you're winning.
Yeah. I genuinely think that she's one of the biggest wasted talents that the sport's ever had so far. I mean, she could turn it around, but the clock is ticking.
Rose, you used to be my favourite woman on the planet, and now when I heard that she was having a grappling match with who was it? Gillian Robertson. I was like,
what I love as well. Gillian. Sorry for cutting over you in the actual video, but
yeah, cheers, Dom.
Gillian Roberts actually moved down to strawweight because of that. Because she's like, damn, I just beat the champ kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm gonna head down there, and she actually went on a good little run for a little bit.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. Then I think she fought someone ranked and got stopped.
Oh, nice.
What are you doing? And then it happens, and she gets submitted in under a minute. Oh god. Women's flyweight, Valentina Shevchenko. I've seen a lot of people picking Suarez, saying she.
Damn, Suarez looking pretty bad in that. Bit of a baddie.
Well, let's hear what you guys say.
Wait, what? Well, actually, what's happening with Suarez? Shouldn't she be fighting for a... Oh, no, she's moved up a division.
Yeah, she's in strawweight now.
She's in strawweight?
She's in strawweight, yeah. She beat Jessica Andrade recently. She's gone back down to strawweight.
Oh, okay, right. Well, she could actually get a title shot. That would be an interesting fight.
I think she's gone back to strawweight.
Yeah, let's hope she's sorted her cardio out.
He has a decent chance of picking up the belt this year, but something doesn't sit right about this with me. Probably has something to do with her only beating her last opponent, Nina Ansaroff of all people, who isn't worthy of the Nunes surname.
No, she's not.
Simply because time ran out. She seemed exhausted, and I doubt the years off will have helped her much. Santos does have a decent chance if she beats Blanchfield.
Both baddies.
Blanchfield herself is more of a wild card, but I think Val gets it done.
No, Grasso
It seems
wasn't
like
even
this
mentioned.
Didn't even mention Grasso. Like,
At least, like, I may have called Grasso a tin can, but at least I brought her up. I gave her the famous MMA Picks clout.
I just find it so interesting that Grasso, former strawweight, moves up and becomes champion, does really well at the weight class. Rose Namajunas, former strawweight, moves up and it just looks meh.
Yeah.
I mean, Grasso's had more time to grow into the weight class.
She like went up the rankings.
Yeah,
fought someone straight away
yeah,
in the
like,
top 5
thrown
after
in at the deep end a bit.
losing at the same weight class in a grappling match against someone who's not
well,
ranked.
I mean, again, you know whoever's in charge of their career,
needs firing.
Needs firing big time.
Division is, and I can't stress this enough, finally starting to shape up.
Now that is true.
It only took about 5 years. Women's bantamweight, Amanda Nunes.
Oh, God.
As my honourable colleague
Look at
Dom
that smart smile.
mentioned,
I don't
there
know
are
what
two
to
options.
say.
Nunes retires, and some, and I say this in the most respectful way possible, jabroni picks up the belt, probably Aldana, or Nunes stays as champ, perhaps fighting and beating Juliana.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought it'd be out Bruno Silva or Raquel Pennington.
No,
Even you
no,
didn't
right,
sink that
right.
low.
That, even I, no, honestly, swear to God, we should do our own video about that fight. That's a disgrace.
I don't know what the UFC were doing. Dana White has been really weird this year.
Yeah,
He's
gone.
been doing
I think
weird
someone's got his nudes and like blackmail him into making stupid
stuff. With his
decisions.
famous TRT knob. His HGH knob.
No, honestly, I refuse on moral grounds to watch that fight, and I do not acknowledge it as a legitimate fight for the belt.
You'll watch the prelims, walk out of that
Yes.
one, then watch
No,
the main
I
event.
genuinely will.
Pena in one of the most undeserved.
Sorry, I'm not even going to tell you the outcome either. When you come back in, I'm not going to bring up
I don't.
the
Yeah,
outcome.
good, because I don't want to know, because it's irrelevant.
Trilogies of all time. Did you guys know she's a mother? Juliana is a baddie though, so credit
she's
where
a
it's
baddie.
She's not changed.
No,
Women's
not one bit.
featherweight isn't a division, so I won't insult my time, or yours for that matter, by discussing it further.
Good, based.
And here's where the fun begins.
Yeah.
Flyweight, Figueiredo.
Ooh.
This guy is awesome, as you would probably expect from a follower of the teachings of Triple C. I'm looking forward to the fourth fight with Moreno, but based on the last fight, I can see this being another close
That was such a. Well, I'll let myself finish.
one, with Davison getting it done again. I can then see him making another defence of the belt in August or September, likely against Pantoja.
Made myself cringe a little bit there because I was like, yeah, it's Pantoja, that's how it's spelled. No, it's Pantoja. Actually.
Pantoja.
That's how Bruce Buffer was saying it, at least. Pantoja.
Yeah, we're going to trust Bruce Buffer though.
What's that?
Are we going to trust Bruce Buffer though?
Yeah,
Didn't
I'm
he call
pretty
Joe?
sure.
Didn't he call Joe Rogan out for being gay?
I don't know what you're on about.
No, I'll play it.
Yeah, please do.
Hi, Joe. How have you been? Of course, it's your buddy, Bruce Buffer. Always so impressed by your jiu-jitsu, your stand-up comedy, but coming out and being gay is the meaning of true strength. And it's why they will always respect you.
Called Joe Rogan out for being gay.
He called Joe. You've just seen the clip. He called Joe Rogan out for being gay. Well, actually, could not called him out. He congratulated him.
Okay.
He gave him a shout out for being
Okay.
gay.
Well, just before you click play, Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno, fourth fight. Such an underwhelming end to that rivalry.
Yeah.
It's such an underwhelming end.
There's actually the only worthy fourth fight.
Yeah,
Like-
genuinely, that did deserve a fourth fight, but then the fourth fight just didn't live up to
It was
the
cut.
others.
It was stopped to the cut, which was a bad cut.
Yeah,
don't get me
oh
wrong.
yeah, it was. Like, it should have been stopped, the fight, but it's just, I didn't want to see it end that way. But with Pantoja, or Pantoja, whatever, I love that guy. That guy's awesome.
Bantamweight, Aljamain Sterling.
That's close.
This is a very frustrating division. In my opinion, the best in the weight class is surely PT but due to the
I
agonising...
still kind of think that,
Even
in a
after
way.
Marab just like sent him to the
okay,
cleaners.
no, probably Marab is, I would say. I just think that PT is really probably up there. I think he matches up best with most people in the division.
You know he's booked next year.
Who's he fighting?
Song Yadong.
Oh, interesting fight. Very good fight. But, you know, I genuinely feel so hard done by for Peter Yan. Very unlucky man.
way things have unfolded, he likely won't even get a title shot this year. Coming off 3 losses leaves him in a situation where he's going to have to pick up at least 2 wins to get a title shot.
Is he still on a losing streak?
Yeah, 4-fight losing streak.
Oh man, that's so... It's so unrepresentative of the type of fighter that he is. Like, you'd think that he's on like some Tony Ferguson run, but no, he's just literally lost a robbery to Sean O'Malley that's allowed
So unless he offers himself up as a late replacement, I don't see him getting a title shot. I do see Sterling fighting and beating Cejudo if Henry does decide to.
Hey, I got that one right.
Clearly got a superb set of skills, although he's not really had the chance to prove that yet as champion, through no fault of his own, of course. Isn't that right, Tim?
No. You know what? You know what? The best skill he's got is stalling the fight.
Oh yeah, just like
he's brilliant at it.
I knew that like when he fought Cejudo, because I was like, he won't do something like that to Cejudo. Cejudo would just take his back if he does something silly like that, but no, he just like nails that.
I tell you what he kind of proved is that Olympic wrestling isn't always the best type of wrestling for MMA.
Yeah.
Jay Dillashaw, you snidey little steroid-taking... Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. I can see Sterling fighting again towards the end of the year against Chito Vera or Sean O'Malley. It would be...
Whoa, I actually predicted that he might fight Sean O'Malley.
Mm-hmm. No, to be fair, that's not a crazy prediction.
Oh, is it not?
No, because O'Malley was pretty much waiting for a title shot. He was promised.
Pretty cool to see a match between Vera and O'Malley, especially a number 1 contenders match, and then the winner fights Sterling. But I can see Sterling beating both of those guys.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Having said that, this is the most interesting division in the UFC at the moment.
Talk about, look at that screenshot there, talk about bias.
Yeah, moved up 10 points in the ranking.
In my opinion, aside from maybe lightweight, this division's got many top contenders. I haven't even mentioned the likes of Sandhagen, Song Yadong, Ricky Simone and Merb. If only Merb weren't such a title cock.
Still thinking
featherweight, Volkanovski. I've got to start this off by saying I fucking love this guy.
Still do.
He's a top bloke. He told me to stand up for yourself. And he's even got a pretty sweet YouTube channel, which includes, but is not limited, to the hit series Cooking with Volk.
He gained all 3 of our
Obviously none of this has anything to do with his fighting ability. So I will get back on topic. I doubt he'll return until July at the earliest, when he loses to Islam, which it pains me to say he likely will. I can see him successfully.
He made a damn good account of himself in that first fight.
I thought he won the first
Second
one.
fight, shouldn't have took it.
Oh, no. That was rotten from the UFC.
Yeah. Biggest mistake that they could have made there, because they just basically made... they just lowered the stock of Volkanovski.
Yeah, and just like for no reason.
And apparently Gamrot was the replacement anyway.
Yeah, they just didn't want...
Just make Gamrot fight him.
The UFC just have no shame this year.
Yeah, so we could do a whole video on stupid UFC decisions of 2023.
Yeah, totally.
Defending his belt against the likes of Arnold Allen, Rodriguez or Josh Emmett. He'll continue to be one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
Yeah.
I think the only guys that give him much trouble are Topuria, who probably won't get a title shot this year because he's not quite earned it yet.
Yeah.
Or maybe Zabit. But as we know, Zabit ran away from the sport because he wants to make the world a better place. What a freak. Lightweight, Michael Chandler. Nah, just kidding. But I had you for a second.
Yeah, I did. I had myself
Islam
for a second.
I was like, what
this guy seems to be the real deal. Volk will be a tough fight, but Islam likely gets it done.
Pretty
much called that. Pretty much called that.
Yeah.
After that, in September or October in Abu Dhabi against Poirier or Dariush. Maybe even an Oliveira rematch.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it was
I do
planned.
think the likes of Dariush, Chandler, and Oliveira are his biggest threats. Do Bronx will always be the champion in my heart, though.
Yeah.
But Charles, why on earth did you have to go for that stupid flying knee with no sense?
Didn't set
better
up
than
at all.
It was barely a
Welterweight.
flying knee. It was
Hands
like
at
I mean,
Schmeichel.
whatever it was
like an
it was
elevated
awful.
knee.
When I saw him doing it, I was like, no! No! And he did it anyway, dickhead.
If this guy can actually make the weight, then he surely picks up the belt.
Yeah.
Ideal
had too much
situation
faith
for
in
him.
Yeah.
He fights Colby in March or April. Imagine the build up to that one. And then he fights Edwards, or whoever holds the belt in the second half of the year. Nobody really has anything for him at welterweight, except for one man, Shavkat fucking Rachmanov.
Yes.
Now that would be the fight of the century. Dana, make it happen, buddy. Middleweight. It is with great pleasure that I say this. Robert Whittaker, also known as Bobby Knuckles.
Duplessis
The
had other ideas.
Duplessis, bloody.
Who predicted that one? And who predicted the Sean Strickland one?
Actually, that's a good question. We'll quickly ask. I'll ask it for you now. What was the bigger upset, Duplessis, Whittaker, or Strickland versus Izzy?
Probably. Oh man, that's a really good question.
I'll answer first. I think Strickland Izzy was the bigger upset, just because like.
I never used to rate this guy all that much, but since his first loss, and should be his only loss, to Adesanya, he's proven that he really is the man, and on top of that, he's just a bloody legend.
Oh, I love it.
I think that Pereira beats Israel again in the first half of 2023. Izzy makes a load of excuses again, which he did first time, but for some bizarre reason, everyone seems to think that he took the loss really well. No idea quite how that happened. In fact, I might do a Charlie rants about this in the near future, so keep an eye out for that one.
That happened.
Bobby Knuckles then beats Pereira by stoppage in November to
removed it.
reclaim
Yeah,
his
don't look it
title,
up.
which most of us who didn't listen to Michael Bisping's totally unbiased commentary think he should have won last year. On a side note, Bisping, not everybody who criticises you is a hater. Some people just disagree with how you're calling things. Is that truly so hard to believe?
Oh my god!
Do you hear him? Oh my god, Michael Bisping's here.
Charlie, I think you're just a bloody hater. You should just shut up, really.
It's like John Fury's got a knob stuck down his throat, and he's pretending to be Michael.
There's nothing wrong with my commentary.
Yeah, sorry, Michael. Yeah, no, you're right.
If you want to fight my son Tyson,
Friend of the podcast, Michael Bisping.
friend of the podcast, yes.
Ankalaev.
Friend of the show.
I couldn't quite believe what I was watching when I saw the Yan fight, and Ankalaev took until the end of the third round to actually get a successful
God,
takedown. Yan had him on skates, but unfortunately did not manage to leave him frozen like Elsa. Regardless, I was impressed with Ank's toughness, his gas tank in a 5-round fight in which he trained for 3,
Yeah.
and his determination. I think he does even better in a rematch if the UFC does decide to go down that route, and then beats Glover or Hill for the belt. It feels quite weird to me to think that this guy only has one loss, and that was to Paul Craig of all people.
Yeah.
And last,
Just
but
pause it.
certainly not least,
Yuri
cliffhanger.
versus Alex Pereira. That was like, what a brilliant fight that was. I mean, it wasn't like a crazy good fight, but it was a really interesting fight. Really happy it happened. I do think that there's a lot of like weirdness surrounding the light heavyweight division. You've got people like Ankalaev, Jan Blachowicz, even Rakic is kind of up there. It's a really good division, actually.
Oh, it's
like
crazy
just in
good
terms of like Jamal Hill as well, Yuri still, and Pereira. Like, there's loads of really good contenders. Any of them
Could win on any
very
given
well
night.
win on any given night.
Yeah. I think it might be one of my favourite divisions.
Yeah, it's really exciting division. It's not as good skill-wise as it used to be back when it had DC and John Jones in, but just in terms of pure excitement.
I feel like the talent pool's greater now, to be honest.
It probably is, yeah, but like just in terms of like
Sheer
DC and John Jones would beat pretty much any of these guys, I think.
Quite
more than
possibly.
likely.
Yeah.
But just in terms of pure excitement, you've got a really interesting division there now. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that shapes out next year.
heavyweight, Cyril Gane.
Damn.
Yikes.
That is a big yikes.
Oh dear, oh dear. He's one of my least favourite heavyweights now.
No, because of the whole. Well, for me, it's not even just because like he lost and like he kind of accepted like a cash grab to fight John, but I think it's like how he handled the Aspinall situation.
Yeah, he wanted to. He was saying like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna fight him. He basically said, yeah, I'm not fighting him or Pavlovich, and then.
One of them gets the belt.
One of them gets the belt, and he's like, yeah, I'll fight you now.
Yeah, it's like, no, you've got no cards anymore.
Yeah.
You just sat on them, and now you've got just jack shit. You've got a shit hand.
After his first fight with Ngannou, I've made it my absolute duty to talk my brother's ear off at least once a month about how, on a damage-based scoring system, Garn should have won.
He stopped that as soon as he lost to John Jones.
I still stand by the fact that like Garn should have won that fight.
It's just you're not tooting the horn.
I just couldn't really give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
3 rounds to 2, and I will stand by that fact until the day I die. I think he'd beat Ngannou in a rematch, and I also think the only guy in the entire division that would beat him is Curtis Blades, and that guy can be a bit of a doofus sometimes, as we've seen multiple.
We saw that in the Pavlovich fight. He was a bit of a doofus. He only went for a takedown when he was like pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Small octagon as well. Like he needed to push that takedown, but he was just quite confident he could do it on the feet for some reason.
Times. Ngannou either leaves the UFC because people have gaslit him into thinking that he's somehow a draw despite his terrible pay-per-view numbers.
Still not a draw, but end up doing well for himself.
Yeah, he proved his point, even though, he wasn't a draw.
Yeah. Ruined the whole sport of boxing while he was at it.
Yeah, well done to him.
No, fair play to him. Hats off.
He'd have a better career outside of the UFC, even although the UFC has pretty much all the heavyweight talent. Or Ngannou fights John Jones, beats him, probably by decapitation, well, hopefully by decapitation, and then loses to Garn towards the end of the year. That's what I hope happens at least. Garn is a pretty sweet dude after all.
He is.
Right. For that alone.
He's pissed me off with how he's handled the situation, but he is still a real
sweet
sweet dude, yeah.
Hopefully, this channel takes off, so I can have him and Tai Tuivasa on the show.
And that hope can still last.
Oh, I still, yes, I'm hoping for that in 2024.
We won't take up any more of your time, so we're gone now. Bye. See ya.
Yeah, that was a very graceful end to the episode.
Fuck you.